This way, snapped the bald man. Book 1, Eragon, Chapter 50, Hunting for Answers. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle, chapter by chapter. I'm Lucy Hart.
And I'm Darien Smart.
And this was a really unique way to open this chapter.
Yeah, Lucy, you pointed it out where it's like the first time, at least the first time we've read, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Where it opens with dialogue.
Yep. But before we dig more into that...
Luce, do you have a spark of inspiration?
I do!
Woo!
So for the past, 2-ish years, me and my D&D group have been doing our... I can't remember if I talked about this last time, but we had our session and we had our finale.
No, because we recorded right before your finale.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had our finale, I think, last week, and there was tears, there was crying, there was shouting, there was laughter. It was very good. My inspiration just comes from just that story. I've been wanting to write ever since that, more about my character, Charity or Rit, and just her story and everything like that. And it's been really nice because it's I'm in a bit of a slump right now, writing snippets of previews to our session.
Yeah,
has really helped me get back into the writing.
That's so
scene.
good.
So it's been really cool, and I really like what we did in our characters, and it's just really inspiring. And Dalton's just an amazing DM and creates such a good story to lead us on. It's so good.
So good.
We've talked about him before, but he's amazing. Love Dalton so much.
Always talk about Dalton.
And Darien, do you have a spark of inspiration?
I do.
Ooh.
Last episode, I briefly mentioned how I got to go to T.J. Klune's book tour.
Yes.
For the release of his new book, Somewhere Beyond the Sea.
Yeah.
Which is a sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea.
Ooh.
Which I recommend so very much to everyone, all peoples. It's very good. It's very... Listen, it's very gay in a lot of ways. It's very found family. It's very looking beyond your comfort. It's very finding a cause. It's very fighting for what you believe in.
Ooh.
It's very loving. It's very
Aww.
hopeful.
Ooh.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And so with the book, Somewhere Beyond the Sea is a sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea, which he did not intend for them to have sequels.
Oh,
it was
cool.
not something he had planned to do, but the remaining threads of House in the Cerulean Sea, because the way it's written, the world continues on. There are still things left to be done in the world.
Yeah.
This story is over, but there will be more stories in the world. We just won't be around to see them, and that's right. That's okay. But the way the world was left when he wrote this in 2019, it actually came out March 2020, the week the world shut down.
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to come to Boise for House in the Cerulean Sea.
Yeah.
And there was no book tour for House in the Cerulean Sea.
Obviously, yep.
So his publisher actually reached out to Rediscovered Books and was like, hey, you were supposed to get this last time. How about, do you want to be the first stop on the tour for the
cool.
sequel? So actually, I'll show this to you, Luce. I got this special shirt for the tour. Or for this stop in the tour. It says, hate is loud, we are louder.
That's
which
so
could
cute.
immediately give you a theme of this thing.
Yeah.
And in the back, I liked a lot. It's got a phoenix.
Oh, I like that.
But it also has the date March 30th, 2020, Boise, Idaho, and it's crossed out. September 11th, 2024.
I love
Idaho.
that. That's so good.
So it's very good.
Can I see?
Oh,
Close
yeah.
up?
I really liked it. I was like, I like it well enough, but it was that crossing out the original date that I was like,
love that.
Okay, I'm gonna buy this shirt, and it's special. It's just for this stop.
The revival tour.
Yeah,
that's so good.
But what he was inspired to pick up the story again.
Yeah.
Specifically in response to seeing folks give their testimony in front of politicians to try and combat anti-trans legislation.
Oh, yeah.
So trans folks giving their stories, parents of trans kids, friends and family members of trans folks, trans kids themselves, like people going up, fighting against this hateful legislation, this specific, like unscientifically bounded, heartless, evil legislation. If you disagree with any of those things I said, you can stop listening to my free podcast and go do something else. And how oftentimes these people go in and it's not the other side is not in good faith. These folks are coming to give their stories, to give their narratives, to give their experiences in good faith, and those politicians sitting on the other side are not responding in kind.
Oh yeah,
which very much is in line with a lot of the themes of House in the Cerulean Sea and the world that it is. And okay, I can't get into it too much. I'm getting to the specific point I want to make is the thing I said that, like, he said something that I really liked a lot that I thought you and I would both resonate with. I know I did. I'm like, I think Lucy will too. So I mention all this because one, it's important. Two, the book is also very good.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I reread House in the Cerulean Sea before turning around and reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and it made me very happy to read this world. I loved the ending of Somewhere Beyond the Sea so much because it's just so truly wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's great. But here's my point.
Yes.
In the tour, he just spoke on stage, gave this great speech. I hope he prints the whole thing somewhere for people to read. Yeah. I hope The Last Stop films it and puts it on YouTube for people to see because it's so good. Ooh. But one thing he talks about is the idea of legacy and how he was asked that. And one of the times he was asked that, he's like, what do I care? I'm dead. I'll be dead in 100 years. I don't care if people, like, I have no opinion of that. I care about what I'm doing now. But he thought about it a little more. And he actually said, you know what? No, I do want to have a legacy. I want to be the anti-J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I want to be that too.
Yeah.
I also want to be that. And because J.K. Rowling is a very powerful, very wealthy person.
Yes.
Who amassed a lot of power doing a creative thing that inspired a lot of people.
Yep.
And uses her massive platform to cause immense harm. To a vulnerable population.
Yep.
And that sucks.
Yep.
And that sucks 1,000 ways to midnight.
Yep.
It sucks.
It really sucks.
And it also, I think, sucks for folks. I mean, obviously, folks like us have a much less degree of how much it sucks compared to other people who her actions put in actual danger all the time.
Yeah.
But being someone who, like, when we were younger, I want to be like J.K. Rowling. She inspired me to write. Like, you and I both, we've talked about this.
Because, like, I was, for recess in elementary school, I would not play on the playground. I would sit on the wall of the school where kids would go for timeout, basically, and I would just read Harry Potter. Like, that would be my recess. She literally was the reason why I started writing, because I was like, I can do this too.
Yes.
And it fucking sucks.
She was the first author whose name I knew.
Yep.
And taught me books were made by someone.
Yep.
That a human being wrote these stories and I could write them. Be like that. And so it sucks to have that thing that's still true about me.
Yeah.
Be tarnished by this person's awful actions. And I was like, oh, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer because J.K. Rowling. And now I kind of get to say, as an adult, I want to be a writer because J.K. Rowling. Because I want to be the anti-J.K. Rowling.
There you
because
go.
I want to create things that are loving and powerful and important and inspire people and make people feel seen and safe and heard.
Yep.
And then turn around and use whatever platform that gives me to help make sure real life people feel seen and safe and heard.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I'll ever be a billionaire.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think if there's a lot of folks who are setting out to be the anti-J.K. Rowling, then I think we can make a pretty good dent in what she's done.
Hopefully, yes. Absolutely.
So, that's my spark of inspiration.
I like it.
Is the reminder that not just creating stories and doing those things, but what you do with the platform that comes with people caring about what you create.
Yep. I agree.
Okay, so this bald guy is looking to get a slap in the fucking face.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's a lot. Like, I have some fucking opinions on him for sure. Just like, because like going back to like the start of like the chapter, I think this is one of the first chapters where we literally opened mid-scene, where we ended on a scene and the chapter starts almost at the same time.
Horns of Dilemma.
Yeah, Horns of Dilemma. These last couple of chapters.
We're just in ongoing. These like last 3 chapters, it's like one continuous sequence.
Yep, absolutely. Which is really cool, I find.
Oh yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, this bald guy, he's so like, I feel like we talked, maybe I'm thinking of our Patreon episode, but like right off the bat, and I feel like we did talk about this actually in like the past couple episodes, where we talked about how, oh, we're not supposed to like this person.
Oh, yeah, that was the last one. We were like, oh, we are not supposed to. This is written away.
It's kind of, he's written in a way, like, his actions and that he's not allowing Eragon to, like, speak for, like, hey, we have an injured person. Like, he'll open his mouth and he goes, shut the fuck up. Like, he's like, no talking. And it's just kind of like, we're not supposed to like this person at all. And very stark contrast, what's his name? Auric. Auric is fucking amazing. Like I love him so much. In the previous chapter,
it's like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I already like this guy and dislike this other dude. And this chapter just confirms that that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like Auric the dwarf. And you're supposed to not like this bald guy. Who doesn't have a name. Despite my mild confusion when Auric tells him.
He calls him.
He says, are you blind? Egrets Karn. And Egrets and Karn are both capitalized. And the sentence is structured as if he's calling him by a name or a title. And I was like, oh, that's his name. And Lucy's like, no, it's not. These characters, don't have names. That's how we know it's not his name. I'm like, oh, it's an insult in Dwarvish because you flip to the back of the book. Yeah, this is something
I just remembered about when I was thinking about.
Glossary.
There is a glossary.
And you can find that under the dwarf language. Bald one.
Yep, it means bald one. So he literally just called him bald one.
And that's great. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Hey, throwing back to our conversation about italics, it does feel like italics are not a consistent thing. I felt like at the beginning of the book, anything that was being spoken in like the ancient language was italicized.
Yep.
And now it's just like not. But this is an instance where I really think that could have been italicized.
It could have been, like, because I think we've had the ancient language has been italicized. Has that been a thing? I can't remember.
Yes, but not consistently.
Not consistently.
Sometimes I was like, oh, it's only being used in italics when it's being spoken or when it's being used as magic, and no, that's not often it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a formatting choice. I don't know whether this was an editor who came in and made some calls or there's a lack of consistency. I'd be interested in seeing if later books have a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, I would.
Because I feel like that's something in like other books where if someone is speaking a language or words in a language that is not the primary language the rest of the text is written in, they'll be italicized. Yeah,
just to like be like, this is a different language now. Yeah. And not mistakenly a name.
Or if it's like someone being like, this is very misspelled.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's Spanish.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, so we have Eragon who is freaking out because Arya needs medicine. She is dying. She is almost dead. The cure is right here, but they aren't listening to me.
Yeah, they're not listening. They're not like letting me say
Bald
anything.
One is straight up
he's being an asshole. He's being just a straight up asshole. And then I do like when he finally is like, hey, like, we need a medic. Hey. What?
I have a chapter breakdown.
Oh yes, do that real quick. So I'm gonna remember that I'm just about to talk about.
Oh, I think no. I'm just gonna read it here.
Oh, you're just gonna read it here?
I'm not gonna edit this.
That's fine.
This is where we're at. Like, no. I'm just gonna.
It's been a hot minute.
Let me just go in and do this real quick, and then.
Because I'm like, we usually have something.
Yeah. Okay. Hunting for answers. It's far from a warm welcome for our heroes. The bald man insists on testing Eragon and Murtagh's trustworthiness. Asshole. A test more akin to mentally torturing all of their secrets out of them. Eragon demands they help Arya first, and it's only with the support of the dwarf, Auric, that Arya is taken away to healers. Saphira helps Eragon keep some secrets during the painful test, including concealing Murtagh's identity. The bald man is plainly disappointed to admit that Eragon is not a threat. With Eragon no longer in danger, Murtagh refuses to submit to the examination. Auric steps in again, stopping the bald man and insisting they allow someone named Ajahad to decide Murtagh's fate. Left alone, and with no small prodding from Eragon, Murtagh lays out how he got to this point.
Yep. I like how this chapter, not a lot happens. like, if you're thinking, like...
I mean, not compared to Flight Through the Valley.
Yeah, but I feel like it happens within, like, maybe an hour?
Yeah.
Less than that?
Yeah.
Like, 30 minutes to an hour? But we get so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I love it so much. But, so that's the thing, like you mentioned in the summary, like, Eragon finally says, like, we need a medic. We have an injured, like, person.
She's dying.
She's dying.
He says that this is exactly what she needs.
Yeah,
like, he remembers the cure. This is
Yep.
exactly what it is.
And then that's when Auric is like, can't you see she's an elf? Like, do you think Ajahad is gonna, like...
And the king.
Yeah, Ajahad and the king will be, like, happy that we let an elf die. And then they go examine the elf, and they're like, holy shit, it's Arya, the egg bearer.
Yeah, yeah.
And
she's an egg courier.
Egg courier,
which
yep.
I like.
Yeah, I like that.
Dragon egg courier
Yep.
is, like...
So good.
Yep. Like, better than egg bearer,
Yep.
better than egg carrier,
Yep.
dragon egg courier. I'm like, okay, major props. That's a
Yeah.
small choice, but I really like it.
Yep, absolutely. And what's interesting about that scene is the bald guy has such an interesting reaction to that.
Shocked.
He's, like, baffled. And I think his face just goes stony, if I'm remembering right.
The bald man's face became inscrutable. He stood motionless except for his lips, which twitched occasionally.
Yep.
Very well. Take her to the healers and tell them what she needs. Guard her until the ceremony is complete.
I'm also like, so we got Ajahad. We don't really know who Ajahad is at this point.
Wait, he's clearly in charge.
Yeah, is in charge. And we also got a king. So it's like, okay, 2 high powers. Who the fuck is this bald guy?
We know he's in charge.
Yeah.
Because he reprimands Auric for going against his orders and opening the door.
Yep, and I love that because Auric's like, they would have died. So we find out that, hey, another perk of why we like Auric so much is he literally, like, he saved Eragon from drowning.
Yep.
But then we find out in this chapter, oh, hey, he actually saved all of them by opening the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this bald asshole who could hear them... Who could hear Eragon password and not opening the door.
Yeah. It is, it's very, very specific. One thing I had when they were like, realize it's Arya, the dragon courier, and they're also shocked. And I'm like, do you see the blue dragon? I'm not saying you've all seen the dragon egg.
Yeah.
I am saying, did you see the dragon and the elf woman?
Yep.
And then did not even maybe guess who she was?
Yeah.
Based on the fact that, hey, there's a dragon in here.
Yep. That's actually really interesting because we don't really know how they know Arya and stuff. I do because I remember in spoilers. But, it's interesting that the egg courier comes back to the Varden, I guess, like, whatever.
Well, because
on Saphira's back.
You need to take me to the Varden.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising. They're like, oh, damn, it's her. But we don't know exactly the, like, especially if her title is the Dragon Egg Courier. Yeah. Like, this was known that she was. Yep. She wasn't the Guardian. A courier is a very specific word. It's not like there was a reason she was transporting the egg when she was. It wasn't just to keep it, like, if they wanted to hide it, it'd be in the middle, like, of a dungeon somewhere deep in the forest where the elves live or some shit like that. Like, there was something going on with the egg, with it serving a purpose. Yep.
It's also, like, I think we find out that the egg was taken, like, years ago. Like, it wasn't...
Yes. In this actual chapter, we get a specific timeline of that. Because we know, I think, now, for real, Murtagh is 18 years old. Yes. We'll get to that. He was 18 years old. He was 3 when Saphira's egg was spirited away.
Yeah. And so that's that adds weight to what you were saying, is like something was happening to the egg. The egg just wasn't recently being transported from
willy-nilly.
Yeah. It had a purpose. So I like that.
But yeah, so it really lines up with the things I was saying in the last chapter where it's like, okay, like Auric, don't like this bald guy, and maybe we're reading too much into it. But no, there's like doubles down on it. It's like, well, trying to look from it from this character's point of view, it's like, hey, you did show up with a bunch of Urgles, and also, I don't know if I can trust you. I gotta protect my crew. Yep. So I can't just let you run amok. Yeah. And that is, we could have a character who we are meant to like, who is to be seen as an ally, who is in this moment posing an obstacle because of their like steadfast belief in their personal concerns with the situation. But it's very clearly that is not this
the case.
Guy.
Yeah, we're
He's
supposed
on
to
a power trip.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, that comes very apparent in this next scene where he starts interrogating Eragon's mind.
Oh, it just rips into his whole mind.
Yeah, and like does it with so much force, because it's like it doesn't like he just like touches minds, because Eragon has touched minds with other people before, and it just like a gentle like blah 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 blah, but it like
and he
a
was
mental
even, like, attacked by Arya when she was defending herself, and this is different.
Yeah, because I think it describes it as, I don't have my book ironically enough, so I can't look at, but it has, I think it's described as a mental probe clawed its way into Eragon's mind, and it's like, what the hell?
Yep. Mental probe clawed its way into Eragon's mind. Yep. Damn, Lucy! Yeah. The force coming from his mind felt decayed and unwholesome. There was something profoundly wrong about it.
And like...
There's something weird about this dude, to
put
it mildly.
Yeah, and it's like, again, like, we don't like him because his attitude, and then it's like, you're describing this living person's mind as decayed?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not supposed to like this guy at all.
Yeah.
Like in any, like even if he is like we can't let you walk around because we're trying to protect our own, and it's just like, nah fam, like no,
this
like
you're taking, this is an unpleasant experience, and you take delight in the fact that it's just hurting Eragon.
And that's like Auric, right before it starts too, he's like, don't like hurt him, don't kill him, and he's like, only if he resists. It's like, really?
Which weirdly reminds me of the scene from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah,
when Larxene, remember Organization 13, one of the bad guys in the game?
Yeah,
she's gonna go after, I mean, you know, but for the listeners.
Oh, for the listeners, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh yeah, I know, you know, listen.
I was obsessed. Anyway,
we don't
have to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh no, did we do a Backstreet Boys inspired dance all dresses?
No, I didn't find
You can find that on the internet. So what I'm trying to say is you actually can't, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
because the whole thing didn't get recorded.
No.
Anyway, the in this sequence, she is one of the villains, and she's a maniac, and she's gonna go be the next one to challenge our hero Sora.
Yep.
And this other character, Axel, is a little bit more morally gray. We can't figure out where he stands, but in the sequence, she's gonna go. Love Axel. She's about to go, and he says, "Don't break him." And she's like, I'm not going to break the toy. I'm not a dummy. Yeah. But like...
It has the same vibes.
Like, oh, you agree that whatever's happening here is necessary for whatever your cause is. Yeah. But you don't want it to do undue damage on this other person. And that also causes us to like Axel more, to like Auric more.
Yeah, absolutely.
To like this bald man much, much less than
much,
we did before,
much
which
less.
was a 0.
Yep. And then what I really like is like while Eragon's getting tortured, he puts up his barriers, and Saphira's like, don't fucking do that. And then when he lowers his barriers,
she says don't do it because it puts, he says it puts Murtagh at risk.
And then that also like
the bald man is threatening
Murtagh. Absolutely. And that also like goes like, even though, you know, we've realized that Murtagh is Morzan's son, they still very much care for Murtagh. They don't want him murdered in cold blood, and they still like him. They still want to protect him. Things. So I'm like, that's also like excellent. They're still kind of like freaked out about the whole thing, but they're not going to let it like get in the way of protecting their friend.
Yeah, it's like we talked about in the last episode, wherein it felt like their initial instant aggressive distrust of them did not feel true to the characters and were more something to try to communicate to us, the reader, how we were supposed to feel. Yeah. Where this scene is way more...
It's way more them.
Of course, like, so even Saphira's like, hey, no, you gotta get... Because she, like, helps Eragon... Eragon also realized, hey, he wants me to fight him. Like, the bald man wants an excuse to kill Eragon.
To hurt him, absolutely.
Yeah, hurt him, drive him crazy.
Yep, and that's what I like is, like, one of my favorite Saphira lines in this is when she goes, give him what he wants. And in the narration, she says it very quickly. Yeah. She's, give him what he wants. And it's like, that'll prevent him from, hopefully, making it more painful. Absolutely. And then again, like one of my other favorite Eragon lines is when the bald man starts going through Eragon's like childhood memories, and Eragon goes, get him out of there, though he doesn't deserve, like he doesn't need those out of there. Yep. And Saphira's like, I can't do it. Quickly think about everything. Think of something quick of the things you want to hide, and we'll do that. We have to do that before he gets there.
Yeah, she's like, I can't kick him out once he's already there. Yeah. But she's like, I'm a lot stronger than he is. I'm already shielding our words from him, but you need to give him enough so he doesn't know I'm hiding.
Exactly.
And so he does figure out, he raced through his memory starting from when he'd found Saphira's egg. He hid sections of his discussions with Brom, including all the ancient words he had been taught.
Smart.
So
boy. Smart.
Eragon.
Yep.
Their travels through Palancar Valley, Yazwak, Daret, and Tiram he left mostly untouched. But he had Saphira conceal everything he remembered of Angela's fortune-telling and Solumbum.
Yep.
He skipped from their burglary at Tiram to Brom's death to his imprisonment at Gilead, and lastly to Murtagh's revelation of his true identity. Eragon wanted to hide that as well, but Saphira balked. The Varden has a right to know whom they shelter under their roof, especially if it's the son of the Forsworn. Just do it. Oh, we usually read these things back and forth. My bad. I got really
no. Go ahead. Like, I don't have a book, so I'm totally okay. Yeah, no, go right ahead.
Just do it, he said, fighting another wave of agony. I won't be the one to unmask him, at least not to this man.
Yep. And that's like, I like he's...
There's Eragon.
Yeah, and I also really like the fact that Eragon is like, he is fully aware that Murtagh's identity will come to light. He just does not want to be the one, and he's like, fuck the consequences. Like, it'll happen, I guess, but I don't want to... Yeah,
I think this is Eragon saying, I trust Murtagh.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
I trust him. Yeah, it's going to come out. I will let him be the one to reveal that information however it comes to light.
Yep.
I will not be the one to out my buddy.
Yep.
Least of all to this son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I will not let this person even have a little bit of an upper hand on my friend.
Yep, absolutely.
And Saphira's being very pragmatic.
Yes, she is.
And she is like she's being like logical. If we just give it quickly, we'll hide what's important to us. But she's like, that doesn't matter. They're going to find out anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, it does.
It does.
It is Eragon's morality. Again.
Yes.
This thing I picked at a lot a few chapters ago when he was upset about the incident with the slavers.
Yeah.
But it is that vein of Eragon. That is him doing this right now. Like, protecting Murtagh. Like, it's the right thing. It is his idea. Like, this is the right thing to do.
Yes.
Consequences, nuance be damned.
Yep.
This is what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. I agree.
And it is... it's like, it goes on so long, which this scene goes on too long.
Yeah.
I think it is written in a way that is to make us feel as uncomfortable and exhausted. As
yes,
Eragon
I agree. Because it goes on for a while, but it doesn't drag to where you as a reader are like, okay, can we please move on? It is very much, I think Paolini does a really good job at writing it in such a way and extending it in a way that is just like, you're right there. You are with Eragon through this whole thing.
This is one thing it talks about, like a thorny vine pushing its way towards the sunlight. He paid keen attention to many things Eragon considered irrelevant, such as his mother Selena, and seemed to linger on purpose as to prolong his suffering. He spent a long time examining Eragon's recollections of the Razek, then later the Shade. Okay, so then he finally, like, Auric is, like, finished, and he's, like, trying to be like, all right, man, like, what's the verdict? Well, is he to be trusted or not? He is not your enemy. And that's
isn't that an interesting way to put that?
Not
our enemy.
Not he can be trusted. He's not your enemy. Which implies that the enemy of Auric is not necessarily the same enemy or ally as it is to the bald man.
Yeah, which is really like, what?
Interesting.
It's like, why did you say it that way, my dude?
Anyway,
and then later on,
Auric wraps an arm around Eragon and helps him to his feet. This is my new best friend.
Yeah, because Eragon's about to faint because he got tortured, and Auric catches him before he hits the floor. But I'm also like, one of the things is like, the bald man says your enemy here, but later on he refers to the Varden as our. So I'm like, why did you do that?
It's specific.
Yeah, it really is. Paolini doing Paolini things.
And then he turns Paolini doing Paolini. And then he turns to Murtagh and he's like, your turn. And he's like, nope.
Yeah. And I love Murtagh's line of, you can't threaten Eragon anymore because you already deemed him worthy. So that won't work. And he's like, well, I can threaten your life. And Murtagh's like, that won't work either.
It won't do any good.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that's going to let me let you inside my head.
Because it's like, even before like we get any further than this, like everything we have learned from Murtagh up until this point is he's going to be the enemy of the Varden no matter what. Yeah. So even if they do examine him, they're going to treat him the same as if he didn't allow them to do it. He's literally like, it's literally the same thing. It doesn't matter. And
he literally Yeah, Murtagh's like, no.
Yep.
And so the bald man's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Which he's already said if you resist, it'll like break your mind.
Yep. And I fucking hate just like having his like, because he's already described as having like long fingers. And I'm like, I don't want him to touch Murtagh. And he goes over and he touches Murtagh and it's like, eh. But then he's like digging
dug mercilessly
into his head. It's like, bro, what the fuck? And fucking Orc coming in clutch. Pulling him.
I love first Eragon asks Saphira, can you help him?
Yeah.
No, he will allow no one into his mind.
Yep.
And it's not her saying no because I don't want to or no because I physically can't. It's no because Murtagh won't let her.
Yep.
And I wonder, it's like won't let anyone into his mind at all. I mean, like, would he even know she was offering to help?
Yeah.
He's like completely walled like this intense hyper boundary. Oh, it's so interesting. I wonder if this is an intentional thing. So obviously it's protecting him from this violation of his mind, right? It's strong enough, it keeps him safe.
Absolutely.
But to the point where Saphira could help him.
Yes.
Saphira could totally help him.
1000%.
And honestly, probably she was like, I'm strong at this. She had to be sneaky with Eragon so he didn't know. She would probably be delighted to let him know, oh, no. See, you can't get into his head. Yeah. I'm just not going to let you. And you can't break me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure she would love the opportunity to let this man know exactly what she's capable of.
Yes.
And to clue him in on, if you think you got everything from Eragon, you didn't. Don't try to step.
Yeah.
But she can't even offer that to Murtagh because he doesn't let anyone in, period.
Yes.
So it's a very interesting... Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's what this podcast is about, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Character thing without so many words that it's like, yes, he has high, strong, hyper independence.
Yes.
And self defenses to keep himself safe, but that can be a double edged sword, is in to keep other folks who would help him out.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He's isolated himself, even when he's like, he has people who can help him, but he's still working as a one man team.
But we kind of find out. That's because of
his upbringing,
his tragic backstory. TM. So then Auric steps in.
Auric steps in,
proving himself to be the GOAT,
just the best dude ever. And then the bald man gets all huffy and leaves.
He's like, okay, here. Auric's like, you're done. Okay, can he do magic?
Yeah, I love that.
He can't do magic? Oh, then I guess he's not a threat in this room. We'll just leave him until Ajahad can decide what he's going to do with him.
Because I love, he's like, can he do magic? And the twins, oh, god dang it. I call the twin. Spoilers! And the bald guy is like, doesn't, like, he gets all, like, angry about it. And, I think he says something like, well, that's hardly besides the point. And can he do magic? He gets all mad. No.
Then what do you fear?
Yep.
And it's like, damn!
It's like, get him, Auric.
But don't listen to me. Ask Ajahad what he wants.
Oh, yeah, then he has a interesting he has, like, a silent conversation. Because he, like, looks up at the ceiling and, like, has this...
Yeah, and his lips moved soundlessly.
Like, he's having a silent conversation. And then he finally goes, all right, we're leaving. And then just fucking... He's so huffy and he just leaves.
So they're going to leave him in whatever this
whatever this room is. Yep.
And...
Auric, not Murtagh, Eragon says thank you to Auric, and Auric doesn't really acknowledge it, and he just says, food will be brought to you later.
I'll make sure some food is brought.
And this, just friggin'
Listen,
Auric.
when we're supposed to like someone, Paulina lets us know this is our new friend.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we can real quick tell, friend?
His friend?
So... Saphira, we must be careful. It sees we have as many enemies here as we did in the Empire.
Yep. Which sucks, but also.
And
then
I'm gonna make a silly joke that sprung into my head when I was writing the chapter summary yesterday. And then record screeched. Hi, I'm Murtagh. You're probably wondering how I got here.
That's literally what it's like. Because I do like how Eragon is just like, why are you here? And I can't remember what Murtagh's response is.
Mm-hmm.
And Eragon's like, lists like all these questions, and then he ends in a shout. Why are you here? And I'm like,
Murtagh just says, what?
yeah. And he's like,
what?
he just like lists off, and he's like, and this, and that, and this, and why are you here? And I just love that, because that is literally like a 15-year-old just
I'm
done. I just want to know why you're here. I can't anymore.
I love, it's a long story. We're not going anywhere.
Yep.
It's too late to talk. There probably won't be time for it tomorrow.
Yep.
And then he's like, all right, I'm not going to stop. So just don't interrupt me.
Yep. And I like that. Also, Murtagh's so...
He's 18. This poor kid. He's only
18. He's so...
Eragon is 16.
Been through a lot.
Murtagh is 18. These are children.
Yeah. It's also... I understand that Murtagh's been through a lot. Absolutely. He's so dramatic in his retelling of his past, especially when his fight with his fight side by side with Tornak.
I want to read it. I just want to read the whole.
Do we want to wait until we get there?
No.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I'm not gonna. No, I meant like I want to read
his whole. Yeah, no, he can't do. That's like, way too long.
No, it would be crazy. Dude, I've done that on the other podcast. He's like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, but it's my favorite.
Yeah.
But it literally is like 2, 3, 4,
like so itchy.
5, 6 pages.
Yeah.
We get to Hallie's credit, rarely do we get this level of an info drop.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very rarely.
I also think it's for me, I was actually thinking about it of like, finally, the backstory we've been waiting for. Yeah. Like, it's literally, it is very satisfying.
Time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. It's really satisfying.
It's really satisfying, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, like, oh, this rarely happens, and this moment feels earned. It feels so necessary. It didn't need to be. We didn't need this when they were just traveling. Like we didn't need this at any other time.
Yep. They didn't really. Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting. They didn't really have time. For this. I mean, when
they were just traveling.
That's
true.
Actually,
they had.
That's true. Of time. When Eragon was healing, and at the very beginning, they did. But we didn't. I think you're right in the fact that that would feel really weird if Murtagh was just like, and here's my entire backstory at the very, very beginning. So I do like the feel of this is earned. Like this is time. And absolutely.
Essentially, Spark, because one thing Eragon is like, why didn't I ever hear about any of this Forsworn having kids?
Yep.
And it's like, well, because either they didn't or they were super good at hiding it because it would have been real easy for everyone else to use that as a chip against them.
Yep.
So
we learned a little bit about Galbatorix's court too, which is really interesting, and it sounds exactly what it would be with a king that is insane,
a diabolical.
But absolutely.
So it is wild. Essentially, SparkNotes version, right?
Yeah.
The 13 servants. Once upon a time, Morazan ended up.
Sorry, and that's right there. You nailed it on the head. Murtagh calls them servants, and not the Force or the Forsworn. Yeah, the 13, whatever it is.
The 13. The Force. Because the Forsworn sounds like cool and badass.
It's not, is it the Forsworn? I don't think
the Forsworn.
Is it?
Forsworn.
Okay, I'm thinking of Skyrim. My brain. Sorry. No, but that was interesting. He's like, because he calls them the 13 servants.
And that's the first time we hear them referred to as
servants. And then, because it's like, that's what he grew up hearing.
Because they're the servants of Galbatorix.
Yep, absolutely. Sorry, please continue.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Essentially, so Mother lived in a small village. For whatever reason, she ended up falling in with Morazan. He describes it as, Morazan showed my mother some small kindness, no doubt a ploy to gain her confidence. And when he left, she accompanied him.
Yep.
Which you instantly get like, oh, okay, here's what Murtagh thinks of his folks. Like this from the jump. He taught her, Morazan taught this woman how to use a little bit of magic, so he could use her as a pawn, as a tool, essentially. And then in time, she became pregnant. So he's like, well, let's whisk her away to my castle. And no one knows about this except Galbatorix, who knows everything.
Yep. And like one of the things is like when they're traveling a lot together before like he uses her as a pawn, is he realizes that she falls in love with him. And Murtagh says it like as things are wont to happen, she fell deeply in love with him. And Morazan, as we have like been like, yes, this man is psychotic.
He's a sociopath.
He reacts to it in delight because he's like, now I have a servant that won't betray me. And it's like,
also it gives him numerous opportunities to torment her.
Yep.
So, and I also so he mentions Galbatorix knew about this because Galbatorix knew the intimate details of the 13's lives, their plots, their fights, and most importantly, their thoughts.
Yep.
Which is very much like we get, oh, hey, how is Murtagh so good at keeping people out of his head?
Yep.
Because he grew up in a place where you weren't allowed to keep people out of your head.
Yep, pretty much.
So Murtagh says that when he was born, he was given to a wet nurse because his mother was ordered back to Morzan and only allowed to see him a couple months.
Yep.
Every few months she could come and visit.
Yep, which sucked. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
Yeah, we revisit when he was 3 years old. He got a scar on his back because his drunk asshole of a father threw a sword at him.
Yep.
And then Saphira's egg was stolen.
Yep.
Morzan was summoned away to search for the egg. As soon as he departed, my mother, who'd been left behind, vanished.
Yep.
No one knows where she went or why. The king tried to hunt her down, but his men couldn't find her trail. No doubt because of Morzan's training.
Yep.
We find out because there were 13 Forsworn.
Yep.
At the time Murtagh was born, there were only 5.
Yep.
By the time Morzan left, there was only 3.
Yep.
And then when he faced Brom in Gilead, he was the last one.
Yep.
Their numbers dwindled fast.
Very quickly.
He says, Forsworn died through various means. Suicide, ambush, overuse of magic. But it was mostly through the work of the Varden. I'm told the king was in a terrible rage because of their losses. And I thought that was interesting that the Varden was
the big one.
Because they've been around since Galbatorix took power. These are original dragon riders who sided with him. And so they've been around for a while.
For a very long time.
And so have that number go from 13 to 1 to none so quickly.
In 5 years?
Yeah.
Because it was 3 to... Well, we don't really know how long.
5 were around when he was born. 3 were around when he was 3 years old. And then... So we don't know how many were trickling. But he said most died because of the Varden. So I think the Varden's...
Definitely within a decade. They all died.
And actually, I think that's the first time we've gotten a really good indicator of the ability of the Varden.
Oh,
the Varden are the ones that are being credited with taking out most of Galbatorix's most loyal servants.
Yep.
Who have been around for as long as he is.
Yeah.
That's important for us to know, especially if this is... we don't know a lot about the Varden except for they were resisting the evil empire.
Yep.
But we were just introduced to them, and they have a guy working for them, and this bald dude sucks, but works pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore, but they did kill a lot of the Forsworn.
Yeah.
All right, so at least they're effective.
Yep, absolutely.
Are as effective as they can be.
Yep.
So we know Brom gives curtains to Morzan, and then, however, before word of Morzan's and the others' deaths reached to us, my mother returned. It had been many months since she disappeared. Her health was poor, as if she'd suffered a great illness, and she steadily grew worse. Within a fortnight, she died.
Rough.
Damn, man.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Rough. Yep.
And what happened then? I grew up.
Isn't that such a simple way?
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Time
really
skip.
love that.
I grew up.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
In showing animated, because I prefer every adaptation to be in a slick, strong animation style. But of little 3-year-old Murtagh at his mother's deathbed, and then there's just a camera kind of shifts around, and when it turns and it goes around the room, and when it turns to him again, he's adult. He's 17 years old, and just everything has changed. But he grew up.
Yep.
Anyway. I wish I worked in animation. Essentially, we find out he grew up in the palace, mostly left alone, and then one day the king brought him to dinner.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I think he's about to turn 18. And we get a sense of how Galbatorix has managed to remain in power so long, and it's not just because of magic, right?
Yes.
He also gives Murtagh his fucking elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Of the empire will be great, it'll be unified, it'll be wealthy, it'll be prosperous, it'll be safe. We'll bring back the dragon riders to create law and order.
Yeah.
Law and order. Yeah. That's always good to hear.
And what I also like about that is he says it's hard to explain. You've never heard him speak, so it's hard to describe his voice. Mm-hmm. And you're like, that's creepy.
That's creepy. Sounds like someone's adding some charm person.
Yeah, allure or something. Absolutely.
And he also, so he gives him the elevator pitch, gets Murtagh bought in. That's not enough, though. He gets him to swear loyalty to him.
Yeah, which is wild.
That feels like, ooh, we'll circle back.
Yeah.
Calls him back. We met in private as before, but this time he was not pleasant or charming.
Yep.
The Varden had just destroyed 3 brigades in the south, and his wrath was out in full force.
Yep.
So now we get Galbatorix's true colors. He's not trying to sell you anymore. He's already got you.
Yeah.
Now you see what you've bought into.
Yep.
And essentially, he's ordering Murtagh to go out in the front lines and deal with the problem. And that's going to include killing all the villagers who he's deemed as traitors.
Yep. And that's literally like all the villagers.
And Murtagh's like, oop, nope.
I'm out.
I'm out.
He's like, so nope, I'm running.
He takes off with his servant Tornak, who we mentioned is the one that taught Murtagh how to use a sword. He named his horse after him.
Yep.
They do escape, but Tornak does die in the process. So circling back to like Murtagh's always alone. Even when he had someone he trusted who had his back, who was willing to help him in this impossible situation, it did get this man killed.
Yep. Can I read or can you read?
Oh,
just
please. I feel like I've done a lot.
Okay, no. So I have to read this, how he fights or how he describes the fight because it's ridiculous. I'll read like maybe this paragraph and a half. As soon as I was free of his presence, I and my faithful servant Tornak made ready for flight. We left that very night, but somehow Galbatorix anticipated my actions, for there were soldiers waiting for us outside the gates. Ah, my sword was bloody, flashing in the dim lantern glow. We defeated the men, but in the process, Tornak was killed. Alone and filled with grief, I fled to an old friend who sheltered me in his estate. While I hid, I listened carefully to every rumor, trying to predict Galbatorix's actions and plan my future. Like,
King!
my sword was bloody in that, flashing in the... It's like, you didn't have to describe it that way.
Yeah,
but
it's bloody, flashing in the dim lantern glow. It's
yeah.
Like, okay.
It could be like, maybe I'm giving too much shit, because it could be just he's really wrapped up in the story and wrapped up in the memory, and that's more to himself than to Eragon. Like an internal thought that was. But it's just... Yeah, it's
yeah,
he says
like, okay. That's a way you chose to describe it like that.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, it's wild, but it's good storytelling. But it's was just like, that is an 18-year-old talking about.
I mean, very traumatic incident.
Yeah, it's very traumatic. Not trying to diminish that at all. No.
Well, it's an 18-year-old in a fantasy book.
Yeah, 18-year-old. So, there we go.
Different species of 18-year-old.
A 15-year-old writing an 18-year-old in a fantasy book.
Essentially, yes. So, and that's where we get basically this, where he's like, he heard about, the Razak are being sent out. He remembered the king's plan for the riders, and he's like, well, just in case they did discover a dragon.
Yeah.
And that's how I found you. I have no more secrets.
Yep.
And Saphira's like, we don't know if he's telling the truth. Yeah, I know, but why would he lie to us?
Yeah, it's like, why would he write that whole story? Yeah, he might be mad.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
But I also think it's super. So next, Eragon's like, okay, then why don't you join the Varden? You know the king is awful.
Yeah.
Like, he's terrible.
Your goals seem pretty much aligned.
Yeah, like, you also don't want this. And Murtagh, must I spell everything out for you?
Yes.
Yes. Because, to be fair, Murtagh, sometimes you don't make sense.
No, it is Eragon.
It is Eragon.
It is Eragon. You're gonna have to.
He sees things pretty straightforward, so if there's nuance, you are gonna have to
explain just a little bit.
And essentially, he is like, listen, one, he doesn't want Galbatorix to know where he is. And if he sides with the Varden, he will definitely find out.
Yeah.
But also, he says these rebels are not only trying to overthrow the king, but to destroy the empire. And I don't want that to happen. It would sow mayhem and anarchy. The king is flawed, yes, but the system itself is sound.
Which is interesting.
It is. We, as the reader looking on the outside, are like, oh no, we need to burn this system down.
Yeah, burn it down.
But it makes sense for Murtagh to believe this because he grew up in the system.
Yeah.
In the best, I mean, yes, his dad sucked and his childhood was extremely, like, emotionally neglected.
Absolutely.
Like, honestly, his dad dying was the best thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
But, regardless.
Yep.
That said, he still grew up in the heart of the wealth and security of this empire.
Yes.
So, of course, he believes this, like, yeah, the king's a maniac, but the system works.
Yeah, because he said I think he did attend court, but, like, was more, like, on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I think. So it's, like, he knows how the system runs. And I think, like, because he wasn't drawn in from the very beginning, I mean, later on, Galbatorix, like, freaking charm person.
If we do look how great it could be.
Yeah, where he could see the flaws. He could see, like, this system would be great if we didn't have an insane king running it, kind of thing.
But that's not the reality of
Yeah.
it. The reality is it's not just the leader that is the problem.
Yes.
Like, you don't get to... Okay, yes, in this particular case, because it's a fantasy narrative, the Galbatorix did have a dragon and 13 other dragon riders, and they overthrew the previous system, and yes, they did get to a point where they created the system.
Yes.
Typically, you don't get to a point where you have this kind of corrupt ruler that wasn't a product of the system allowing and enabling this to happen. Like, that is... You look at any history in the rise of a monster, and there were systems in place that allowed this monster to gain power. In this case, no. But the monster is the one who now has created these systems, which means they are flawed they are systemically flawed systems, and they cannot be upheld. The system that allows slavery and overtaxation and a lack of resources and support systems. Like, Murtagh is wrong. But it makes sense to why he would believe that. He also views the Varden as going to be his enemy no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true.
So that's where we're at. They get some food. I'll admit I had a dummy moment when Eragon's trying to be optimistic and Murtagh is just not having it. And then the door opened a hand's breadth and 2 bowls were pushed through the space. A loaf of bread and a hunk of raw meat followed. Then the door was shut again. And I fully was like, they can't eat raw meat. That's crazy. Why would they give them raw? Finally, Murtagh grumbled, going to the food. He tossed the meat to Saphira. All right, there's the dragon.
There's the dragon. That's right. Saphira's been very quiet this whole time. Yeah, all right.
I fully forgot there was a dragon.
Yep. I also want to say, like, that's really good writing, too, to pull us so into Murtagh's story. We forgot about the literal dragon in the room.
Let's talk about the dragon in the room that I forgot about.
Yeah, it's very good.
Raw meat, and I was like, why is this here?
I'd like the image of him literally just throwing it in the air, and she just goes, num.
It's not like she hadn't talked.
Yeah.
But but also another, like, let's praise Murtagh for being the best. He's the one that grabs the meat and
gives it to her.
Saphira.
And that's like, he doesn't eat his food and just like, oh yeah, here, by the way. He's like, Saphira first.
And then, like, he gets to it. He could have just grabbed his stuff and, like, he doesn't like, oh no, Eragon will feed Saphira. It's his. He grabs the food and passes it to Saphira, breaks the bread, passes it, like, he is giving his party their stuff, like, Murtagh.
I don't know if we want to be like, I can't remember the actual gender or something, but ladies first.
Oh. Gender norms.
Yeah. Just
ladies first.
Ladies first. Here you go.
Lady dragons.
Lady dragons.
And I also, they ate silently. Murtagh, I'm going to sleep.
I love because he's like, for me it's like I thought like they were eating, but then it's like Murtagh's like playing with his like bowl or whatever, and then he's like, I'm going to sleep, and that for me rings like he's hungry. It's like one of those things where you're really hungry and you start to eat and then you lose your appetite, because I'm like, he didn't finish that in my mind. He didn't finish his food.
Stress.
Yeah,
he had a few bites and then he's like,
I can't. I'm going to bed. Yep.
It reminds me a lot. I was last weekend went on a trip with my mother and my grandmother. Y'all don't need more details than that. But there was a point where I was just announced, I'm going to bed.
Yep.
To be like, don't bother me. I am going to sleep now.
Yep.
And if you mess with me, why?
It's going to be bad.
I made it really clear about what's happening here.
Yes,
I'm going
exactly.
To sleep. And then we get a very sweet Eragon and
Saphira. Yeah, really cute.
He laid next to Saphira, his arms under his head. She curled her long neck around him, like a cat wrapping its tail around itself, and laid her head alongside his. One of her wings extended over him like a blue tent, enveloping him in darkness. Good night, little one.
It's so cute. And you know what? You do know what this means though. The end of this chapter.
Oh no! Tell me.
The next one's gonna open with them waking up.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We had such a
that's the one that you're gonna have to read.
Oh, no, it's my turn! Lucy, what's our writing takeaway?
I would say, like, if you're gonna have a character, like a side character, give like a background, like this, like we said, like this felt earned.
Lore
like,
dump isn't a dirty word.
Yeah, and it's like, think about
info dump.
Yeah, think of an interesting way that could make it feel earned.
Yeah.
For the readers, but it's not like dangling a piece of meat in front of them.
Yeah. Like, oh, do you want this? You want this? Or it's not just like, take notes, everybody. There'll be a test later.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is my buddy and I want to know. Like, it is very strategically well played. Like,
yeah, because it's not at the very beginning when they met Murtagh, because I think that would have been too much and really weird. This felt earned in a way that it makes a lot of sense. So,
and I think, like, also, like I said earlier, Palini doesn't info dump. Like, we don't tend to stand around and get a lot of information about something. Or
we get a lot of detail, but it's not.
Loves a setting.
Yes, but it's not an info dump.
Not an info dump. But simultaneously, while I praise that doesn't necessarily mean info dump is bad.
I agree.
I think that's become a easy, almost CinemaSins-esque shorthand critique to be like, ugh, an info dump.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes an info dump is like weird. Like if you have a character explain what demons are to a demon. Yeah. So the the character who doesn't know this information, who's eavesdropping, and the audience can learn about that. That's not good. Yeah. And it's from literally one of the first chapter of my favorite book series. So like, I'll admit that there are bad ways to do it. Yeah. This was good. So info dump, not a dirty word. It's just a tricky balancing act.
Yep. I also think it's I find it satisfying when you can spot an info dump. Yeah. But it's done in a way that's like really nice.
Like, you don't realize it while it, like, I think I didn't, when I was reading it, I wasn't like info dump. It's when we were talking that I was like, oh, this was an info.
Because like there's like some shows or something where somebody will somebody who doesn't know or something asks a question and they go, really, you don't know about this? And then proceed to explain about it. I'm like, oh, this is to let us know.
This is why we need to know.
I'm like, it's like the freaking the meme of
DiCaprio with
the
hey!
We're pointing, like that's how whenever I spot an info dump, like in a way that it's like, I'm like, oh, this is meant to like also explain to the character who it does make sense for them to be explained to, but also to tell us as well. Yeah. So I really, it's in everything, but I find it fun. Like, oh, look, an info dump.
It's okay, characters. Here's your not characters. Oh my god! All right, listeners, here's your homework.
Yes. I mean, we're all characters.
We're all characters. The world's a stage. Yep. An example of an info dump, good or bad? Yeah. Favorite info dump, one that just comes to mind, something that sparks to you.
That'll be cool.
The Shadowhunter City of Bone one, the demon one, is one that comes to mind often for me because it is so atrociously bad. Yep. But I also want to cite the info dump from the Adventure Zone Crystal Kingdom arc.
Oh, yes.
Where that arc is literally... one of its primary functions is to teach the player characters and the audience about this planar system, the cosmos of the world. Yes. And so we do get a kind of TED Talk lecture, like a fantasy science lesson on the planar systems. Yep. But you're not sitting there. I mean, I wasn't sitting there thinking, this is probably going to be important later. Yeah. I was just like, okay, yeah, it makes sense why this mad scientist wanted this weird magic relics to do this thing. Got it. Yep. But it's an info dump, and then it's a remarkable info dump that is interrupted by another character who also joins in on a different info dump that is on the same thing. Yeah. And it is so creepy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's
so good.
But oh my god, it's just my spine.
Very good.
So those are two that come to mind.
Yep.
Luce, do you have an info dump?
I keep thinking about, I've talked about the book before and I can't remember exactly what it was because it's been a while. The Hunter, remember I was talking about like the demons? Or they worked with demon dogs and they did stuff. I don't remember. It wasn't Scythe. It was something else. I didn't read that this year. That's why it's so hard for me to remember. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember like listening and they all have different like ways of summoning their like demon dogs. Okay. And she is explaining to somebody else, or she has a lot of internal monologue about how things work, and it is very info dumpy. But for me, I don't think I was very bored with it. I was just like, she's really contemplative and she's quiet, so this is what she's just always thinking of, or she's explaining how she does things, and that explains how it's done, kind of thing. So, and let me say what the book is called. Oh, there's also in the book series that I've been reading for a while, they have like 12 books in it. Dragon Blood, the Dragon Blood Chronicles, or whatever series, I guess. It has 8 books. They have, one of the characters was trapped in a slumber for like 500 years or something like that. So she, like, all of her stuff is completely all of her knowledge is like null, because 300 years have gone by and technology has grown and all these things. So them trying to explain to her what things are and how they function is also telling us, the readers, as how things function.
Yeah,
and stuff
fish out
like
of water characters make for a really good excuse for an info dump.
Yep.
Because they don't know, so someone's got to tell them.
Yep.
I mean, I fully confess I have an info dump in my draft. Like, there is a sequence where the characters sit down and tell this character, okay, this is what this concept that we have mentioned several times through this book, this is what it means. This is why it applies to you. This is why it's a problem.
Yep. And
I'll need someone else to read it to tell me whether or not this is ridiculous. I don't know. I'm in it.
That's fair. So the first series I was talking about was called Hunter. The series is called Hunter. The first book is also Hunter. It's a very interesting book. There the only 3 books. It's Hunter, Elite, and Apex by Mercedes Lackey. And then I can just go ahead and drop the other one.
Yeah.
I'm on book 7 of the Dragon Blood series, and this is a really rough book. Like, the first, like, how far am I in this? I'm not very far into it, and it's a really rough, so I've actually had to pause that and listen to something else. It's called the Dragon Blood series by Lindsay Buroker, Buroker. I don't know if it's called Buroker or if it's like Broker. I can't remember, but yeah, very good. I enjoy it. Really interesting.
Nice.
Both books, but both series.
We should probably wrap pretty soon, but I want to read off a couple of our listener comments.
Yes.
Shout out to Owen, who on episode 36, Eragon, a Path Revealed, did say first. Thanks, bud.
I love that. That's great. Wonderful.
On a Clash of Wills episode, Priscilla noted that they tend to agree more with Murtagh than with Eragon throughout all of the inheritance cycle. And it's like, yes.
Yep.
And then they go on to talk a little bit more about things that happen in later books. I'm not going to read that off. But for real.
Yep.
And then in the same episode comments, Matthew Allen, one, I'm glad to see y'all are doing episodes regularly. Thank you so much, Matthew.
Yes, we're trying.
We are recording this episode 2 days before it needs to come out. It's great. And they shared a spark of inspiration recently. It's working a full-time job, a part-time job, and attending college. I'm working so hard, and I believe I'm bettering myself, and I have 3 cats that help ground me. Life can change so fast, and it can be so good. Matthew, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for sharing.
Congratulations.
Cats make everything better.
3 cats. I have 2 cats. I've never had 2 cats that are my cats specifically in my life, and it's a delight.
Yep.
But I'm glad, as someone who's like, I'm really glad I'm actually working again.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
My man.
Also, there's nothing beats coming home from a long day and watching your cat walk towards you, do a big stretch, and go, ow,
it's like,
through a yawn.
Yeah. Just be like,
it makes it very happy. And then demand cuddles.
Yeah, when you close the door, I could hear, because the way our house is built, my bedroom is right above the entryway.
Yeah.
So when I come in, I can hear the cats jump off my bed. And then I can hear them coming down the stairs and then watch them come around specifically to see me because they heard me come home.
Yep.
And
it's very cute.
Ida cat will come up and be like, hi, I missed you. And Taco will pretend it's a total coincidence. He had no idea I was down here. He would never have come down here had he known I was here.
She's right
never. I can see them both, yeah. Last, I want to shout out Curtis Moore.
Hell yeah.
I'm so glad you guys mentioned the horses. I have so many thoughts on fictional horses, and so many authors never give me the details I want.
Ah!
Also, I did my undergrad project on horses in medieval literature, and this website has some really good scholarly articles on the subject. And it's themedievalist.net, and did send us horsepower, social evolution in medieval Europe.
That's so cool.
And I would admit it, Curtis, I'm embarrassed that I didn't anticipate you latching onto the horses. Like, obviously, I should have.
Yeah.
Curtis's profile picture on Instagram is them on a horse.
Right?
Also, I don't remember where this came up. I, for some reason, didn't screenshot the conversation, but at one point in time, Curtis mentioned having listened to a very scary book. Maybe it was about endings. I can't recall.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
Yep. It was, the book is called The Only Good Indians, and it is by, hold on. It's by Stephen Graham Jones, who is a Blackfoot author. For if we have listeners who aren't familiar, Blackfoot is one of the indigenous tribes in North America. It is very fucking scary.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's spooky season. I'll do a listen. And I had to be sitting there at work pretending like everything was chill at the dentist's office, as if I had not been traumatized by a very, very scary, very emotionally distressing narrative. That I also really liked and sincerely enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I'm not big into horror. And this one is, like, there are people who are probably peak horror folks that'll be like, that wasn't scary.
Yeah.
But also I think the elements and the themes and stuff, and also being so, this kind of narrative being so unfamiliar to me as someone who has not consumed a lot of Native American work, specifically not like, especially not specifically like Blackfoot work.
Yeah.
It was very cool. It was very interesting. It was very upsetting.
Yeah.
And very well done. And Curtis shares a story about how he listened to this book. It deals with this figure in some indigenous beliefs called Elk Head Woman.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going anyway.
I'm not going to tell more about it. But just how this story, hopefully it's okay if Curtis I share this, how after he listened to it, was watching his dad's place, had to go out to feed the horses, if I remember correctly, got out there, and out in the middle of fuck off nowhere, an elk comes just running out of the woods, and Curtis is like, well, I'm dead. She's come for me. It was just an elk. It was just an elk running, got started. But I was like, no, that's a nope for me.
Yeah.
I just read this book and then saw an elk. I'm moving. I'm moving off the continent of North America. Like,
that's so funny. Never coming back.
But highly recommend. It was, I got to listen to it on Libby. So
yeah.
So thank you, Curtis, for that recommendation. Also, fuck off.
I will not be listening to it.
No, it's not for Lucy's.
No, I don't do scary. I have an overactive imagination and will have nightmares, and I absolutely hate nightmares. I watched sorry, this is a small whole tangent. I watched A Quiet Place knowing that's not even that scary. I watched it knowing full well I would have nightmares, the first movie. I watched it literally like clockwork. 3 days later I had a nightmare, and I was like, all right, well, we got it out of our system. I hope I don't have another one. And that was it. But I hated it, and I don't want to I just don't like nightmares.
It's not for Lucy.
I don't do it.
So, thank you all so much. Absolutely.
Yes, thank
Drop
you.
on Instagram, hit us up on Spotify, whatever comments.
Yeah.
We don't have our homework question anymore. I'm still salty about that. I didn't realize how much I liked having that until Spotify took it away from me.
Yeah.
But it's also on Instagram now. I make a nice little graphic.
Yes.
And put it on the story, so you can also put it there for us to share. And thank you all so much for listening.
Yes, thank you so much. It's always so cool to have y'all join us.
We are entering the end game. We are
yes,
entering the point
we're
where
so
things
excited.
are just gonna pop,
and then we're gonna get into freaking Eldest, and it's gonna be
it's gonna be a ride.
It's gonna be a ride.
I can't wait to tell y'all about the board game I made for Eldest when I was in 7th grade.
Ooh, I'm super excited.
All right, but until then, she's Lucy Hart,
and she's Darien Smart,
and this is Eragon,
and back again.